I don't have an intro for this one. I'm too busy laughing at that goddamn Persona 5 meme with fucking Cheetah. I may or may not have used that for the Twitter announcement. I'm so sad. It's not gonna make any sense to anyone else. It's so reliant on channel lore and stupidity, but it's so good. Hey, S2, hey, Roy. Welcome back. Today, we will be doing the second quote-unquote half of Trial 5, Great Ace Attorney 1. Looking forward to it. I'm hoping we can spare my boys, the Skulkins, from too terrible a sentence. I'm not sure what their brother Dearest told them they were doing in the pawn shop that night. I'm hoping they didn't realize it was gonna end in murder. Howdy, Natsuruga. Hi, Natsurugi. Hi, Janene. Don't know how long you stay since your friend and you are already on the 4th trial. But good luck. Thank you very much, Scroy. Hope you guys have fun as well. Case 4. That sure was something there. I'll refrain from saying much more than that. You're on episode 13 of 5's Why Is There a Curse on the Kai's Belt? There isn't. It's just that only certain people can use the belts. They really gloss over that plot point because they don't want you to think too hard about it. But they established it. Remember, Mari tried to use it in the first episode and couldn't. The belts in general, not just Kai's, are very picky about who can actually use them. I wonder what that means for the people who can. Ooh, I'm not saying anything. Hey, Stu. Fives has got some issues, but Fives has also got some good-ass twists. You have fun. You have fun figure it out on your own. Hey, bestie. Kaido did become Fives. Kaido became Fives for an episode, yeah. Orphanox seemed to have no problem using it. It's regular humans that they seem very picky about. Sup, Ken? Hi, Akira. Hoping it's working this time. Yeah, you were having some issues yesterday. I am sorry about that. Not a whole lot I could do to help, unfortunately. It did seem to be on your end. Like, we had a couple of weirdness with the bitrate dipping yesterday, but nothing that should have caused any of the problems you were having. Whose theme? That was Birthday Train. That was not a specific character theme, I don't believe. That was just a song that was in Xrd. I don't believe it was anyone's specific theme. Still fucked up. They basically clickbaited Mari being Fives. They really did. They really kind of did. Like I said, if not for the fact that I'd already knew who Takumi was, by the time I watched the first episode, I would have thought maybe. Like, oh shit, do we actually get a female main rider at first? You got an egg to fry? Probably not his real name. Even the judge was like, yo, that's bullshit, bro. Eggert? That's not a real name. It's acting up again, Akira. Goddamn, I am so sorry. Do we have quality options today? We do not, so I can't even tell you to lower the video quality. Stu, we are theoretically halfway through this case. This case is broken up into 4 parts. We got 2 of them done last night. But as is always the case with endgame trials, they tend to just the parts tend to get longer and longer as things go on. So I'm going to assume that even though we are technically halfway through, we're actually more like a third of the way through, maybe. Still wish Yuji could have been the MC. He's a main character. He's not the main character. He's not the main character in the sense that he's not the main writer, but Yuji is very important. His story is very much woven into the overall plot. You will be seeing Yuji for a long time. It doesn't matter that he's not the main writer. Howdy, Murloc. Egg Benedict is a fake name. But Romaine Letouche is 100% real in this world. Is there actually somebody named that? There probably is. God damn it. Still sad his actor passed away. Yeah, you and me both. Yeah, his actor passing away is actually the only reason we got the release of the Horse Orphanok figure art. I believe they went back and forth on whether or not they would actually release it. Jacko, no. Good God, this art style is interesting. Was that the name? Was his last name actually Lettish? I don't remember that part. I remember a guy named Romaine. Still crazy how good 0-1 did with Naki. Didn't bring it up or in any way or annoying. Oh yeah, yeah. No, like I said, it's arguably too downplayed. I know some people like that stuff to be at least be acknowledged, but I'm genuinely the opposite. Like, I feel like the less attention you draw to something, the more actual, good, accurate representation it is. Because that should be what you're teaching kids. You shouldn't be drawing so much attention to it. You should just fucking put it out there. And then just move on with your life. Hey, good Benedict is the worst one. It really, really is. How am I feeling today? I'm doing alright, Murloc. Thank you for asking. I had my chicken wings today. It had been a while since I had them. They were absolutely delicious. Lots of extra sauce. Sometimes they skip on the sauce. They did not skip on the sauce today. Super spicy, super good. Hey, Pump! Let's see, I will wait until whatever this song is up, and then we'll start. Finished orientation. Ooh, nice. It was a nightmare. Oh, not nice. Yeah, I will say Akira's issues with the video buffering or whatever may be solely on him, but it is in fact thundering heavy near me again. So if we have any issues with stuff popping out, be forewarned. Got some bad storms brewing right now. Mr. J is in your top 10 list for characters in 5s. He's a good person to be there. Mr. J is so fucking good. I adore him. I wish he got been able to do more in the actual show. I love him. I love his dog. It's so cute. Alright. No, we don't need any more music. We're good. We can actually start it. At least get in there and get the actual music playing. There we go. Is this the final episode? Possibly. I'm going to do my gosh darndest to get this done tonight because for those who don't know, in the group watches, we are about to watch one of the worst seasons of Kamen Rider. So we're gonna power on through it. We're gonna be doubling up on watching it. It's either gonna be tomorrow and Monday or Monday and Tuesday. It depends on if we're able to finish this up tonight or not. I don't know. I've heard this case take some people 10 hours while streaming. So we'll see. Granted, I went for about 5 hours last night, but I talked to chat and bullshit around more than most people. Hey, Leia, what's up? The Kamen Rider subreddit hates talking about shipping, just shipping, period. That's gay. Hey, Gina, how you holding up? Starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now.
Jenny! Are you alright? Weren't you saying anything? Why aren't you saying anything even?
What's the point, eh? Why go through all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me?
What? You're still talking about this? Holy shit!
Well, you saw the picture. What picture?
Ah, you mean this. The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder.
You know, we'll be speeding through Decay, but what are some other not-so-good seasons? Ghost is pretty goddamn slow. It's not awful. I would say Ghost is better than Decayed, in that it at least has a complete story. It just takes a while to tell it. I know a lot of people shit on Wizard. I personally have a real soft spot for Wizard because it was one of the first shows I watched and I've not rewatched it properly in a long time, so I don't know how accurate that is. I personally don't think it's that bad, but with it, we'll see, I guess. And Zio. Zio is also not very good. And Saber, obviously.
Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure.
It's hopeless. Anyone who sees it's gonna think I did it, ain't they? Well, I won't pretend wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to court. Hi, Kiwi. You almost broke... Kiwi, stop breaking your toes! What's wrong with you? Stop being clumsy. Drink your water. Surely you've got to have your doubts about me now. You can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. Kicked it really hard into the fridge. Why were you kicking your fridge? Don't kick your fridge. Your fridge is nice. It stores your food. Episode title, Saber's Broken Toes. You were just walking by it.
Ginny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night, please, for the love of God. I want an exact timeline. I want to see if my theory about when the bank's actually trying to save you was right. Eh? Runo's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from you.
What's Bonka JC? They're so cute! I love those guys. I genuinely want like fucking like homemade minifigs of them or something. Like I want to put them on my shelf next to the Hopper brothers. They're so fucking cute. Gotta start driving class Tuesday. Do not need a broken. Oh yeah, that's no bueno, Kiwi. Good God. Yeah, just rest up, get some ice on it, maybe some Epsom salt if you have any. Soak it in that. All right then. It was after we had dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we all had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yeah, I remember. Skulkin plushies? I would love plushies. Plushies, minifigs, something. I want something of them. I need them in my life. After that, I just couldn't get any sleep. So I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-to-1 to Winterbank's place. I had to know if Iris' story was there or not. The Hound of Baskervilles? I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in that Sholmes Sholmes don't like. Something I don't want other people reading. So that's why I had to lie to Iris about sticking it with the Lugan and Winterbank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought at the time. It's just full of the why do you not have to make everything gay crowd. I mean, are you surprised? Are you surprised that Reddit is full of people with that attitude? I'm not. So you broke into Winterbank's? I didn't know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea it was going to kick off, did I? I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark in there, like you see in there. So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of a whack, and that's when... What do you think I'm doing? Ah! Howdy, Deduction Central. Welcome, welcome. I nearly died, I did. Next thing I knew... I'd grabbed the gun off the counter and I was waving it in the air like... I don't know what. Like a phantom thief. Yeah, like... I fucking love the fucking phantom thieves. They understand my rebellion. I know! You're the girl who was here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went for armed robbery. The Manta script, have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a note of papers with you? A story? I beg your pardon? The Hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see if it's here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving around my gun, would you? Yeah, I figured. He knows. He knows she's just a punk ass. That's an actual... All of these, for as far as I know, all of these cases and books are named after actual Sherlock Holmes stories, yes. This is still the first game, Dusk. Not quite done yet. So then the old cove unlocked the storeroom and we both went inside.
Oh, I get it. You're one of them there tsunderes. Fine, fine. Look at the thing.
And it was there, all right, the manuscript. Shums wasn't lying after all.
You did all that just to check for me, Ginny?
Anyway, there was a bit of a kick up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yeah. What was that noise? Someone's breaking in.
Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight that I don't know about?
I think I forgot to shut the door behind me, sorry.
I'd better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back?
Oh, well, I'll come with you and...
Now, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances.
Aww. What a fucking Chad. Jesus Christ. Oh. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom, like you said, stringing my ears to the dark to see what was going on. Hear what was going on, even. Suddenly, I got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help see. So I was just about to go out the storeroom myself, when... I heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think I was going to say. 2 gunshots, that's important. Almost at the same time. I'm guessing they continue their little European standoff. And then he was right at my feet, lying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like. Because you thought whoever shot Mr. Winnebank might come for you. Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Winnebank was a goner. I felt funny in my head all of a sudden, kind of dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing. Jesus. That must be when you passed out, Gina. If I hadn't done what I had, the old cove might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me.
It'll be all right, Ginny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer.
She's 17. She's not that young, but yeah.
Runa's about to put the real culprit through the mill.
That cove what was there in the afternoon. That Eggert Benedict. I still remember how he looked at me, like I was nothing. He was there that night. You know for a fact it was him? God, I really wish you had told us all this sooner, good God. We don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You fucking what, mate?
You can leave it all in Bruno's capable hands now, Ginny.
Mr. Nara Odo. Yeah? How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGill did. We told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bug trotter off with him, even though he was the real killer. No, I could never forget that. I still feel dirty. Oh. I did what I thought was best at the time. But the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget I also made you a promise. I told you I'd be on your side at the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying, you daft bastard? You could go and be orc enough to get another kill off the hook for all you know. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. You were. Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. Strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure no one would believe it was me who'd done it.
Oh, Bruno.
But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed me and was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Chad McChaddington.
Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest. My headband will do even more.
I was so happy I cried, but even then, somewhere inside of me, I couldn't help thinking. Surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely.
Oh no, Bruno! Who were you accused of murdering?
His name was John Oliver. John Oliver.
The talk show host?
Yes!
Isn't he still alive?
No! I didn't kill him, though. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious. John Watzerbergenfieldville. He had an absolute unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute unwavering belief in him. Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry, I won't let you down. Even though I'm a diver and a no-good liar. Well, that's the thing. You see, right before he died, he said his name was John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, and I was like, hey, that's my name, too. You're not like McGilded, I know that.
Eh? That's right, you're our friend, Ginny.
Iris. We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust. Just start playing video games other than Persona 5. Not in your fucking life, you daft bastard!
Yes.
That's all we need to know.
Exactly.
Mr. Nara-Oda, I Bitch! Yeah, she needs to play Tweewee and actually pay attention. Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative! Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course. Thank you. She's breaking. Fine, I'll stop playing Persona 5. I'll finally play the fucking spin-offs. Get me a copy of Strikers. But holy shit, MD. Record timing. I've been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. Checked Another Day's secret ending, it's not worth it. Is there Another Day's secret ending? There's a secret ending besides the one I got. What, do you have to beat the ultimate, the super boss to get it? This is it at last, the final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Sasato-san. I hope you're watching over me too, partner. Aww.
I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Von Six, if you successfully subpoenaed the witness, The speeder was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem.
How very convenient.
I see. Let us turn our attention to the Inspector Gregson's pricings of the case, heard by the court this morning. This glaring omission of a third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector. Almost like you're not very good at your job, or corrupt as fuck. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood of the sea makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom.
It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. A very big mistake.
My lord, the subpoena witness has just arrived in the building.
Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay.
Mr. Edgar Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon. Certainly not like this. Oh my god, the resemblance is uncanny! Oh my god, how did I not figure it out immediately? We are family! All of my brothers and me!
Thank you for accompanying with the court subpoena on such short notice, sir.
They have the same eyes.
Of course, my lord. As an upstanding member of London society, it's my pleasure to oblige.
Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record.
Ashley Graydon, communications officer.
Ashley.
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communications Station. Would I marry Egg Benedict to get into the Skulkin family? I'm not gonna say he's not handsome, cause he does look like fucking Carlos from Zero Escape, and Carlos from Zero Escape is hot as hell. Pete Kimbo right there. But I don't know. His personality kind of ruins it. Yeah, and I changed my name to Eggert too.
Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about.
You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume.
Yes, I was. Something to do with the murder that took place at the pawnbrokers on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question. That's ignorant.
That is the accusation, indeed.
This really is beyond a joke, you know. Never mind the fact that I was literally there earlier in the day and had plenty of reason to have wanted to come back to commit murder and possibly theft. That's ignorant.
Very well, without further delay, something or other. You'll respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
Ah, Simone! Gladly, my lord, gladly.
No, he's keeping the voice. I don't respect him enough to give him a good voice. I don't care if he's the final boss. He's a fuckboy. He's perfect the way he is.
Naturally, I have an occasion to make of a pawnbroking services from time to time.
Unless he does some full-on Matt Onguard Jekyll and Hyde bullshit, where like he completely changes his demeanor. He's staying Corey Haim. If he goes full Jekyll and Hyde, we'll see. But for now, no.
Are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder?
That's no way to talk about your brothers, sir. Your brothers are way more respectful, law-abiding citizens than you are.
I have no intention of admitting such an outrageous accusation, even if I have certain parties here at present claim to have my blood was found at the scene. What? Talking. Some Scaramouche detectives' homebrewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Scaramouche confirmed for Genshin, guys. He was in that trailer. He's coming. Oh lord, he coming.
So you deny the accusation completely, do you?
I must say I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy.
It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands the jury's will is upheld.
That's ignorant. Then it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today.
By golly!
Go ahead, endear yourself more to the people who are deciding your fate, dipshit.
How long can I expect to be detained here?
If following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in this matter has not been established, you'll be free to leave immediately.
I was gonna say, yeah, how are they gonna handle him coming back? Because, yeah, that meteor event was not mandatory. You know, like, a lot of new players aren't even gonna know who the fuck he is. Very sad. It worked so well for Kristoff? Yeah, really. It works every time. And one of them's literally your coworker. One of them's literally your coworker. Even if you do get out of this, you have to go back and see them the next day in the office. Like, what the fuck? Can't stay late today. No worries, Murloc. You have a good one.
Good, then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at last.
Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, Counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination.
So we meet again, Mr. Ager Benedict? Or is it Mr. Graydon?
My apologies, you are? I'm sorry, I don't remember the faces of poor people.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met.
If you say so, Ashley Graydon, Ashante. So?
Ah!
I trust we can conclude this quickly.
I'm not holding your hat. You're not my type. Hey, free hat. Like, I'm curious, is he just gonna is he gonna try to even deny he was there earlier that day? He does look like an egg. He's like if Humpty Dumpty was on a weight loss diet. Like a skinny Humpty Dumpty. That's all I was gonna say on the matter, is it?
What do you think, Bruno?
I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance he has of giving himself away.
The complete opposite of Hurley, then. He seems to think that the more he says, the better.
Yes, we need a little. We need to get him to crack. Ah! Oh, I'm dying. LaBelle archetype? No, that fucking clown-ass guy from earlier was a LaBelle archetype. You can sense it. You can sense it the second you see them on screen, and their smug expression. He just fucking disappeared. Was he even real? Did I hallucinate that? I may have hallucinated that. Need to find some way of getting more information out of this man somehow. But compared to the bungling burglars spied him, he seems as innocent as a child. It's the opposite.
Perhaps the Skulkin brothers might be the key here.
Oh, could they be somehow?
Remember, if you don't prove this witness has some connection to the incident here, he'll be free to leave.
I know, I can't let that happen. Let's listen to those statements again. See if I can make one of them tell us more. Let's see, can I press him talking shit about his brothers and get them to get angry at him? Hold it! Have you ever seen these two men before?
This fair? No, I don't associate with criminals.
Said by a man who introduced himself as Ager Benedict.
I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me?
The young lawyer there in black.
This is a farce! Woo! Whose idea was to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Well, needless to say.
A gif of his movements have over 50k notes on Tumblr. His animations are very smooth. Both in terms of the animation quality and in terms of their criminalness. Did anyone say anything about it being Herlock Sholmes' device? Did anyone actually explain that part to him?
Hold it!
Don't forget, sir, Mr. Herlock Sholmes is the most famous detective in the world.
And the most famous detective in the world tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, hmm?
Yeah, I can believe they told him in the carriage. Well, oh no. I can't think of how to answer that.
I once saw the world's most famous swindler thrown into jail. He allegedly told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but what turned out to be a pack of lies.
Quite. Now, as you are no doubt aware, the Central Communication Station is the heart of this country's information network. My work there is of paramount importance, and you have kept me from it for long enough already.
Hold it!
Can we get you to acknowledge that you were there literally earlier that day and got into an altercation? We met the very prom program where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Eggert Benedict, I believe. Tell me, what made you...
The witness is here to testify about the events that took place that night.
Really, dude? It's obviously fucking relevant, because he was trying to steal shit earlier in the day, dude.
He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions.
You can't be serious!
Thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such inappropriate questions.
So he's gonna be evasive, is it? In an effort not to give anything away. This could be tricky.
Bye, Akira. You have a good one.
Hold it!
Where were you around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir?
That is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions.
You're able to prove that. You know, I said nothing about hanging out with them. I just asked where you were, brah. You able to prove that?
Objection!
Oh my fucking god.
Listen carefully, my lonely pony's friend. For you to appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point.
What do you mean?
The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence.
No! No, I'm pretty sure he does.
If your accusations that the witness was present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion.
No, I mean, I think he needs to at least give some kind of alibi. It's up to me to prove or disprove whether or not it's actually true. But he needs to give some kind of explanation. Just denying literally everything is slightly sus. I have a right to question him on it, brah.
You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness.
Fuck off.
Simone!
A silent victory wiggle, thanks. A little more than a wiggle.
Hold it!
Lotus found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Mr. Sholmes' chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such.
But I'm not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I?
No, but you are the only reptilian!
How did you know? How can you be sure the blood is mine? It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants.
Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to differentiate the blood samples by...
Spare me the science lesson! Who is this Sholmes character anyway?
Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a great, well, a renowned detective.
So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective.
A great detective, you say? Teh! Now we're in the room of fairy tales, are we?
Your brother knows.
Excuse me.
He was born from an egg! That's why he had the name!
Reptilians.
Got something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? Oh, what? Me? No, the other Mr. Skulkin.
Right, I've had enough to hell with this. How many times have I got to tell you?
Yes, I know. You're not... What? I know... Get off the stand! You know what, Gregson? Get off the fucking stand. If we're not gonna uncover you being corrupt right now, then I have no need for you. Go sit down. You're not the fourth Skulkin, brother. You're not cool enough. I know you're not big, bro. Sulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Ah, go blimey, governor. You what?
The brothers found an egg in the woods, brought it home, and he popped out. Aww. Oh, that's adorable. Aww. Is it not the case when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share that thought with the court?
What? Me thoughts? I don't have any of them. It must have been him.
You what? Mr. Nash Sulkin, answer the question, please. Skulkin. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke?
Nothing, honest God, nothing. I was just thinking. If he waves his umbrella like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, that's all.
One, he cares. One, he cares about his brother. Way too much, clearly. Two, holy fucking shit, they're so fucking stupid, I love them! I adore them! I want to keep them forever! I want to commission somebody to make me little custom minifigs or plushies if they don't already exist. I love these two. They care so much about their stupid egg, bro. They care so much that they just literally fucked him over. They were gonna let him get away with this plausible deniability bullshit. They were really gonna let him get away with just denying everything and not actually pressing him on anything. And then he says this. Oh my fucking god. What wound?
Well, he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna get healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worried for him, and... Oh, Els bells!
Mr. Graydon! You hear that?
What?
Your comrade's worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm.
My lord?
Yes, Mr. Graydon.
I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Never mind the fact that I am clearly now clasping my arm in pain. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. It's ignorant.
We know someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from behind the bullet on the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow the core official to examine your arm, sir? The left arm you're currently clasping with your right hand, as if in pain?
No. No, I refuse.
I swear to God, if they let him get away with this.
No, I don't think I will. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Besides, you know, the thing that literally just happened. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. It's ignorant. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed whatsoever. I take offense in the insinuation that I was in any way involved.
You claim to have nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery.
My lord. The defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony.
Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon.
Oh my fucking god. How do I go about proving this? Because I have the disc. But is that just gonna be counted as the blood stain? And they're gonna say,
Ah, no, that's ignorant.
do I have anything else about him definitely being there earlier? Why do I still have the newspaper? What's on the back?
Sensational story lower down the front page. Just look. Ministry mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of the world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted? How would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I come with 3 different possible methods so far. Looking for a new career, Uno?
No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be. It would explain why Gracie was running from that pillar from to post at the moment.
So I assume that's the actual, big thing. Like, they kept talking about how there's something else going on. I guess at this point I just kind of assumed it wouldn't come up until the second game. I might need a hint, because this is the only thing I can think of. The disc is the only thing I can think of, but I'm worried that they're gonna claim that I'm worried that they're gonna do some bullshit that, like, oh, because Herlock Sholmes' machine isn't real official technology or whatever, that doesn't prove that it was his blood or some shit, even though we have a literal fucking room full of witnesses who saw him cut his hand on it. So if there's something else I'm missing, then yeah. You're enjoying Jetman? That's good. Did I press yet? No, I could do that. I hate pressing. If I can avoid not pressing, I will at any opportunity. The bullets strike a calendar. What?
Hold it!
I think your English broke, JC. Never had anything to do with it. You forget that I was there, Mr. Great, on the very afternoon of the incident.
Obviously, I'm not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokers. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study.
No, you were there to redeem an article.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Excuse me.
Got some to add, Inspector? Can you not, literally say, oh, yes, I came to arrest him, and then failed spectacularly?
Hey, come again, sunshine.
You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector? That afternoon.
Well, yes, I do remember meeting yourself in the pawnbrokers that afternoon. You, your young Japanese assistant, and the accused were all present, as I recall.
And at that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article.
Well now. I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly.
Oh my fucking god. You are corrupt as fuck! Give me your badge and your fish and chips.
I'm not going to lie and pretend I remember something I don't.
The fuck?
Gracie showed us a picture before, didn't he? You know, from the cameras that Hurley installed in Winterbanks.
Yeah, of course.
Indeed, the gentleman picture bears a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say.
Oh, yeah, we did have this. I don't think we had this one as evidence, though, yet. You also watched some more Berserk? Hey, very nice. Exactly, which proves that Mr. Graydon was in the shop this afternoon in question.
At no point have I denied that fact.
You did, though.
I merely enter the shop and pursue articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more.
This makes no fucking sense. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. But why would Gregson be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? That's all he's gonna say on the matter, isn't it? Well, at least we managed to trace a little more information from the witnesses' lips. Aw, thanks to the Skulkin brothers.
Yes, they were the key to it after all.
So he says it had nothing to do with the Winterbanks. Well, we know that's not true.
Perhaps that would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record.
Good idea. You never know what tiny scrap of information could become valuable in a valuable weapon. Okay, it's literally admitting that it was his now, right? God. I can't look at them any more detailed. I'm just gonna try the disc and hope that the game's not stupid.
Objection.
Okay, thank God. Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon?
Why? Is it supposed to mean something?
This disc was, until the day of the murder, a pawn at Mr. Winterbank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, this afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try and take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon?
As I have reiterated numerous times, you are mistaken. That was not me. That was my twin brother, Schmegert Schmenedict. I've never seen like this before in my life.
It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on this disc.
Ah, yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps.
That's right, the surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So while the disc bears the remnants of a skirmish in the form of a smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also, in the form of a scratch.
Good gracious, indeed it must.
He wouldn't, like he's gonna even show us his thumb. He wouldn't show us when he accused of having a fucking blue one. He's not gonna show us his hands either.
Indeed it must.
Mr. Graydon! You refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse us to allow it to examine... Are you now going to refuse us to allow to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that there's a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this disc.
Nah. Well, well. It would seem I underestimated you.
What is the meaning of this?
Does he realize that if he tries to say no to that too, we might actually get some... we might actually get some backup to force him because he's so clearly suspicious. Yo, Blanco. So you admit it now. You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Graydon?
It would appear there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc, as you put it. No, quite the reverse.
What are you saying?
It's really quite simple. You see, the disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime in taking an item you own out to pawn?
What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence, my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now.
As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder. There's a note on the disc saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by that accused, that filthy gutterling on the day in question. I proceeded to the pawn shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you say? The famous London philanthropist and leprechaun? The one who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder?
Yes, my lord, the one and the same.
Good lord, Mr. Graydon! Are you saying Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted?
Yes, that's correct.
Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear that name uttered here in my courtroom again.
According to what Gina told us, the disc was placed in pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. McGilded himself gave instructions to deposit it at Windibanks.
It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming that this belongs to him then, isn't it?
In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hands on McGilded's disc for some reason.
Counsel, will you commence your cross-examination, please?
He looks like he should be a Silver Ranger. He does look like a very stylized anime version of Zane from In Space. You're not wrong. Although Zane was way cooler. Zane had a gun that turned into a sword. And also once dressed up as a clown. To help save Cassie from the psychos. What commitment. What a Chad. What a king. McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Windibanks. Then when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket. Most Silver Rangers are blonde. 1 second, fact check. I know I have one with all the silvers somewhere. Let's see, Zane, Ryan, Orion, Tyzon. 4 of them. Only 4. 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 out of 11. Not really.
No doubt about it, the witness is lying through his pretty white teeth.
The police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day. 4 and 1/4. 4 and 1/4. Fucking Merrick had like a single blonde streak in his hair. He looked like a fucking loser.
But Greggson's being very strange about all this.
Must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, focus on the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying. Remember in RPM when they faked a wedding? Did they fake one? You're thinking of Samurai, Ken, when they faked a wedding. In RPM, it's just the Yellow Ranger almost got married. It wasn't fake. Her parents very much wanted it to be real. It's just she got out of it at the last minute. Would have thought Pink Rangers have the most blondes. Oh, no. Yeah, you would think, yeah. because the dumb blonde archetype. No, they avoided that for the most part. They had a couple, but not a lot. Actually, yellow blondes became the more common thing. Remember when Ziggy did a TED Talk interrogation? Yeah, it was great. Remember that time Ziggy got out of hard jail time by making shadow puppets? What a Chad. There's more not straight characters than you thought there would be, which was none. Oh, LGBT Rangers. Yeah, we've had a few. We've had a little bit. A lot of it's all very, very vague and vaguely implied, but yeah. Oh shit, happy 100th birthday, Winnie the Pooh. You dark overlord, you. God, I don't know what to do here either, like he's so obviously lying. That is his signature, right? Oh no, it doesn't actually say. Appears he used the back to write a redemption ticket. He's written very neatly, but still. Perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had at hand. I don't know what the front is, the reverse side now. Apparently a couple of actors for hours just play their characters if they were gay. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely a thing. And then, like I said, there's characters like Haley from Dino Thunder, who they clearly wanted to be gay. No, I know, Ken. I'm not. There was a wedding episode in RPM, but I'm telling you, it wasn't a fake wedding. The Yellow Ranger was from a rich, bitchy family who wanted her to get married to some guy named like Chad Winchester, like some dickbag name. They were trying to force her to get married. And the wedding went through, but then she got out of it last minute after they saw how much ass she kicked as a ranger. And they're just like, okay, fuck it, we'll get real jobs. That was a real wedding. Samurai was the fake wedding. Literally, Ken, like, you gotta work on your comprehension, dude. I will disprove something and then you will still try and say it's true. Like, good God. Why does it say for McGilded then, dude? Care to explain how this belongs to you?
As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary.
You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir.
So you see, I have a little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having to misplace my purse while on an errand.
Of course he has a purse.
Which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat in the broker in question.
You claim that was your overcoat?
Obviously, in my haste, I clean forgot. The music box just was in its pocket.
And yet there is a note on it that reads for McGilded.
I'm a collector of rare and unusual music box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city and was interested in to discover that he shared my pension in that area.
So the disc in question...
It's a pre-production sample.
Oh my God, we found McGilded's mixtape! A sham wedding? Yeah, a sham wedding. There you go. That works. If there's no real love. No, the guy wanted to marry her, too. The only unwilling party was the Yellow Ranger.
I promise to let Mr. McGilded hear it.
We found the mixtape. About goddamn time.
But then you forgot it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn.
Yes, exactly. Gina didn't mention any of that in her testimony months ago, did she?
No, because McGilda threatened to keep her mouth shut. Which means if we dig too deeply here, it's gonna expose Gina's perjury.
Oh dear, this is complicated, isn't it?
Let's leave it for the time being. Wonder how much it costs to get everyone to tux to the Yellow Ranger in that dress. Oh, for that episode, Minato. I wonder, yeah, because that shit is expensive. I'm guessing maybe they just, like, rented them for a day, or they're, like, they're like, movie studio, I don't know. Granted, this was filmed in New Zealand. Not sure if these are as common in New Zealand, but they have, like, warehouses in, like, Hollywood, where you can just, like, rent movie props and costumes for a couple of days. That's much cheaper than actually buying stuff like that. I imagine something similar exists in New Zealand, because they do still have their own TV and stuff.
Hold it!
So you're saying this is straight lifted to take it from your pocket or bag?
That's right, despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insular areas of her kind of
Stop making up words! She did no such thing!
Well, of course you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender.
You came to the pawnbroker ground the day in question with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hands on McGilded's disc.
Objection.
RPM, yeah, RPM was the most expensive season, that is true. That's why Eddie Gazillion got fired halfway through for going over budget.
My learned friend is a veritable front of the nonsense.
Nonsense.
I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way. Is that clear?
Yes, Lord.
Then I will continue with my testimony for whatever use it can be.
Hold it!
Had you ever been to Windibanks before?
Only once, for the purpose of pawning something. But like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments.
So when you noticed that pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, I didn't notice it first, such as the art of pick purse.
Pink Ranger almost got married in Jetman too, but the guy was a piece of shit who thought they were better because they were rich. Yeah, that happens. Pink, white. She's technically the White Ranger. She's White Swan. Even though her outfit has pink highlights coming out the ass. She's White Swan. I hate when they do that shit.
When I did, I headed to the pawnbroker at once in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place.
He can say what he likes because he knows he has no evidence. We have no evidence that contradicts it on this.
Hold it!
Yeah, we'll sing about Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it? And yet he conveniently doesn't remember you.
That's right, this was the very man. Apparently the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded as evidence.
Why is Gimes being purple? I don't know. I don't know for sure why they did that, Bestie. That was that's a very common thing in Power Rangers for some reason. Anytime like characters teleport anywhere or have like glowy explosions or colors or anything, that's just always the thing they've done. Is they change black to purple. I don't know if like black is really hard to like make clear for like glowy effects or shit. I imagine that's probably the reason. But yeah, that's the thing you'll be seeing a lot, especially in earlier seasons. Sucks RPM never had any follow-up? Oh, didn't it? Minato, what was the last season of Power Rangers you watched in full? Oh, it's had follow-up. Judlin wouldn't do us dirty. It took a long-ass time, but we got it. We got the resolution. Watch Beast Morphers is all I'll say.
Apparently the police are collecting... Yeah, they're collecting anything as evidence.
Excuse
yeah.
me.
No. Graydon, I thought it was him talking about himself. Graydon Gregson. Do Black Rangers and Sentai have a specific archetype? They're always the cool ones. For the most part. They don't always go with that. Like, Sentai definitely shakes up the formula of archetypes a little bit more than, like, Kamen Rider. But typically speaking, yeah. Like, general rule of thumb, the Black Ranger's the cool, edgy one. The bad boy. Something wrong, Inspector? At least in Sentai. Power Rangers less so.
What do you mean?
Last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way.
Oh, no, it didn't. Leave me alone.
Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering McGilded's possessions?
I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine.
What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets? Yeah, Black Ink, exactly. That's why I say it's not 100%. Black Ink Q Ranger was a fucking wrestler. But generally speaking, yeah, Black is like the cool lady killer type. You were hoping they were just always the assholes. They sometimes are. A lot of the time they are, but it's not 100%.
Yes, exactly. You should know about that.
Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his contributions to public life, yet he had a dark side too.
Where are you going with this, Von Jinx?
Viking has a story mode in Sam's show? That's cool. I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of this nefarious activities, are they?
That's enough! Coppers like me have duties to carry on we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know.
Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector. Why does Samurai have so many specials? Because that was another shitty thing Nickelodeon made them do, was clip shows. It's not just Samurai. For like Samurai through Ninja Steel, they had like 2 Halloween specials and 2 Christmas specials per season.
The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're gonna need Lord Strongheart's paw print first.
The fuck is all this about? It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Levon Zeeks here. Is he also cheating on me?
Well, it would appear the investigators revealed all he's at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Gladly, my lord.
I was hoping I would get more information out of that.
Hold it!
Perhaps you'd see something of value among the forfeited items. Yeah, Beast Forfeits. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Beast Forfeits did also have one, yeah. I forgot about that.
No, not at all.
Oh. A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. Bric-a-brac. I don't know what that means. In that case, it's clear. You broke into the shop that day in order to recover Mr. McGilded's disc.
Have you not been listening, man? You and I had wanted to recover the disc. You may recall it had been seized by the police that afternoon. I was in no more in the shop than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in.
So there was nothing of McGilded's left in the shop that night. Nothing his fan might have been after. I wonder if that's really true.
Bruno, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble.
McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket. What else was in there? Check evidence then? Yeah, did he have something else in there besides the coat? Sentai also has different colors. Be leader, yeah. Typically, the rule of thumb with Sentai is that the Red Ranger is always the main character, but they are not necessarily actually always the leader. Mega Ranger, the Black Ranger's the leader. Kaku Ranger, White's the leader. Oh man, that's right. Fuck, happy birthday, Faust. Oh, my boy. Get that man some food. He's so skinny. I can't believe Faust has the same birthday as Winnie the Pooh. Yes, I can. Mystic Force Green Ranger leader? Oh, no, he wasn't, but he should have been. That was the season where the Red Ranger was a fuckboy. Meanwhile, Xander was just like the most charismatic of the main characters and had an actual character arc and felt like the leader. He felt like the goddamn leader. He probably should have been the leader, but no, he wasn't, because Mystic Force is not great. It's good, but not great. Have there been a female Red? Yes, but never for the entirety of the season. There have been female Reds, but they've never actually like been the main character for the entirety of their run. He had a hard accent. Yeah, they let. I'm guessing his actor couldn't do an English accent or an American accent, so they just let him keep his and incorporated him being from New Zealand into his backstory. Okay, wait. That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. We never found it. We never found what it was. But there was something else on there. Haas, thank you for the follow. Yeah, okay. This should work, I think. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I was like, he had something else besides the coat. Yeah, okay, we never actually found the goddamn box, but we do know for a fact that he had something else in pawn. That is conveniently missing, as far as we know. Or at least that the cops certainly didn't want us sniffing around for.
Objection!
Wasn't it Wolf and Jungle Fury? He wasn't the leader. RJ, he was the mentor. Like, he was in charge in the sense that he was the mentor, but he didn't even become a ranger until halfway through the show, and he never, like, took over once, by that point, Casey was already predominantly in the leader role, so he didn't want to step on his toes. Nah, Jungle Fury don't count. This disc was deposited at Winterbanks on Magnus McGilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again. In any case, that disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night.
Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true.
What?
Mr. McGilded had another article in pawn at Winterbanks. As the second pawnbroker's ticket shows, there were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGild in Winterbanks' pawnbrokery, and the reason he broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers.
The second ticket, is it? What had the man deposited?
Tommy took over as leader. Yeah, well, Tommy's an asshole. That's the difference. That's why RJ's a fantastic character, and Tommy Oliver is a piece of shit. When RJ became a ranger later in the show, he was like, oh no, nah, Casey, you're my student. I'm not gonna step on your toes. You've been doing good being the leader. You can just continue to think of me as the mentor. I'm just actually joining you on the field now. And Casey's like, thanks, bruh. Tommy Oliver, ooh, look at me, I'm the White Ranger. La-di-da. I descend from the heavens like an angel to save you all. I'm the leader now because fuck you. They could have just waited. If they had just waited until they got Rocky as the Red Ranger instead, maybe I could excuse it because Tommy had more experience or whatever. But nope, they made him the leader while Jason was still around. Fuck Tommy Oliver. Fuck him. Hello, Caleb. The article description reads 1 small box.
Rather vague, it seems.
Are you suggesting I broke into the pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box?
Yeah, I am. Although you're a bigger clown than them. There are adequate grounds to suspect that you did.
This is absurd!
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the best part. I'm Tommy. I have like 5 ranger forms because I'm so cool. Ooh.
Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There'd be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft.
That is a good point, actually. Tommy the cat has a ranger form? Yeah. Yes, he does. Yeah, Caleb. No, It's okay. You get Best Boy as your replacement. Give it a couple of days. You don't need me Namiimoto with who you'll be getting soon. Did this case change my opinion on Ringo and Nash? No. I've loved them from the second I saw them. From the second I saw them in the trial and not Silhouette, like we did when we first went into the pawn shop and Holmes got shot. The second I saw these two's design, I was like, yes, I love them, and that has never once wavered.
Witness makes a solid argument.
So that means that for some reason, the sprayed and villainy to the small box that very night, does it?
Objection!
It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord. Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Von Zeeks? I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Winterberg's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it.
What?
Good gracious! Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court, if you please. Yes, sir.
What prints?
These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras.
Hurley's red-handed recorders again?
As previously explained, using the plan of this shop's layout. The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Winterberg received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information on this ticket...
How many Skulkin brothers are we up to at this point? Because you want to be one? We're at 4. There are currently 4, if we're counting Gregson. Although, personally, I don't know if Gregson is cool enough to be one. But technically speaking, we're at 4. Gonna Lisa not get too spoiled, Caleb? No worries, you're good. We are on case 5. Oh shit, oh my god, I just actually looked at this link. Holy shit, this art of Ram giving Faust a burger. That's very cute. What's Ranger about? A bunch of ancient warriors from tribes that worshipped and teamed up with dinosaurs find themselves reawoken in the 21st century and have to continue to protect dinosaur eggs from an evil witch named Bandora, who is the best boss ever, as she forces her henchmen to participate in musical numbers.
McGilda's small box has been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident, at 9 p.m. on 13th April to be precise. Which means it wouldn't have been on the shelves on the forfeited items of the shop front. Now what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on 15th April.
Didn't... Oh yeah, the Ninja Steel episode, yeah. Tommy got that cool morph with access to all his previous forms, including Red Turbo, in the same episode with TJ. Even though it's been very firmly established, for the most part, that TJ is considered the rightful owner of the turbo powers. Tommy used Turbo and TJ was it. To be fair, I do know why. It's because TJ is more popular as the Space Ranger, because In Space in general is the more popular season. I get it, but also just come on. TJ is awesome. Let him be red again. So a bunch of ancient boomers have to deal with present day? Yes.
The victim surely had a very full shop, it would appear. And then here we have another print. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. I see, so we have 2 pictures to compare. Though I must say, the placing them side by side leaves me cold. Dear me, it's starting to make my head ache. Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we consider the theft as one possible motive in this case.
Guessing there's a lot of comedic moments. Yeah. Ranger is definitely a lot more comedy heavy than Jetman. Jetman's mostly serious. Ranger's pretty goddamn goofy. Hence why they used it for Power Rangers instead of Jetman. It's a little disrespectful to have the first Black Ranger be forced. Exactly, Stu. Yeah. That's what bugs me about it more than anything, is that TJ was our first Black Ranger. And yeah, but because he was more popular as the Blue Ranger, he rarely gets to come back as the Red Ranger. It just makes me sad. But like I said, I do get it. TJ was pretty goddamn awesome as the Blue Ranger. It's fine. I'm just glad to see him back at all.
We explored the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life. So your men have already compared these two prints thoroughly, Inspector? Yes, sir.
What if he just took what was out of the box, though? If it was just a small box, I'm assuming it had something in it. What if he just took whatever was in it and left?
Counted every single item in these two photographic prints. And the odds conclusion is that exactly the same number of presses in both. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy.
I don't believe it! I just showed that he stole McGilda's prawn box.
Timon!
I might have been able to break him down at last.
You know what, Bruno? I've been thinking. I wonder if these two photographs really are exactly the same.
Uh-oh. Don't make me do the magic eye thing again, honey, please. I can't do it. And trying to gives me a headache. What?
So, Counsel, in light of the evidence put forward by the prosecution, what is your position? It seems, in fact, that on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment.
For one thing, immediately, why are they so far apart? If you're trying to prove nothing was stolen, then shouldn't you show them closer together? I want to see the full sequence, not a 2-hour gap.
Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
I don't know. Could there be some hidden discrepancy in these photographic prints somewhere? Necessary discrepancy! Sorry, a 3-hour difference, not even 2 hours. I wasn't sure at first, but there's a clear discrepancy between these two prints.
What?
You like how Ryuki's... Oh yeah, Ryu's trying so hard to be a nice guy. But, but guy's just a fuck, yeah. Ah! Ram, no! Aw, she's always liked Leo. Good for her.
You must identify the location in question for the court, Counsel. Indicate the precise location of which you speak.
Oops.
Oh, boy. Nico did the cross-eyed thing and freaked out when he saw something that was pretty funny. Good. Unfortunately, I genuinely can't do it. I would if I could. Can't see, so you can't help much. Yeah, Janine has to. I guess at least, yeah. At least, yeah. Oh, wait. I already see it. I already see it. I got it. I already see it. Or at least one thing. Not sure which one I should point to, but I guess the later one.
Take that!
Granted, these two prints are almost identical. I was gonna say, yeah, I wonder if I could have presented the stereoscope and looked out that way and got a closer, an overlay of them. I was wondering, yeah, why was present evidence an option? That would make sense. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them.
What?
Switch has zoom in. I didn't even notice the zoom in option. I just eventually noticed. I didn't know that was a thing. When you look at the two pictures stereoscopically, The walkthrough says you could do that. That's cool. It's good that they give you the other option, but yeah. I was just like, I can't do the magic eye thing, but surely I'm usually pretty good at this. I'm usually pretty good at puzzles like this without the magic eye. So I was like, hopefully I can find it, and I did. A single area stands out as being different. The location of this small box. Let me wait. Inconceivable! Unbelievable, even. Inconceivable sounds more dramatic, so I said that instead. By Jove, you're right! How extraordinary! There's the cross-eyed judge. Beautiful. What this tells us is very simple. Mr. McGilden's small box was indeed not stolen from Windibanks on the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then returned it to its place on the shelves. Are you suggesting the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilden is in fact? Yes. Very same small box I just identified in these photographic prints.
Objection.
Mindless guesswork. What if it was? So a box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen. Which means, quite simply, nothing has changed.
That may be true, but... Alright, McGilden's box was stolen. Wasn't stolen then. But does the fact that it was moved like that change things? Yeah. Because something was probably inside the goddamn box. And wasn't he saying there should have been something else? When he first came in the store harassing Gina, trying to pull the fast one, didn't he claim that she had stolen something else, like something else should have been in pawn? So he probably broke back, something else was probably in the box instead. He probably broke back in to get whatever that was. I believe this changes everything about the case.
How can that possibly be?
The crucial point is the fact that it was moved, that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks as we speak.
Objection.
That won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago cannot possibly be relevant to this trial. The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Von Siege. Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once. Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination.
That's ignorant!
Oh, never mind. Ruined it. We're trying to have a moment here, bro!
We should have a report within half an hour. I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth. To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing. I beg your pardon, Lord Von Geek. This is nothing but a smokescreen, a Nipponese specialty, it would seem.
What are you trying to say?
My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning.
He's politely asking for a three-way. I'm politely declining. I don't like his attitude. I don't care how much he looks like Carlos Zero Escape.
That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilden from the pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place.
Exactly! It'd be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property.
Some things go beyond money, sir. You can't put a price on a Gojo standee.
If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilden perished 2 months ago immediately after the conclusion of this trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which was established that he was an upstanding member of society, his reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense.
You actually can put a price on a Gojo standee? I mean, I can, but it's $182. It's $182, and I would like to buy one very much. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate.
The articles is upstanding member society pod were entirely ordinary. A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box just in one of its pockets, and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me.
You know, that does make a rather lot of sense. Not as if the gold of Jews, is it? So God must know Mr. McGilder was rich enough. Can't deposit cash at the bar broker, quite set to that. I love my moose. Prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling. It is incumbent on the defense to now bolster this argument. To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles spawned by this fine citizen could have. Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstratable? Demonstrable? Are you able to show proof that the disc and the box are in any way related to this case?
It was an engagement ring. He was gonna run off with the Belle's ancestor. Oh, that's so pure.
Well,
What's the matter, Bruno? We know they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence.
Yes, of course. You and I know that. We know Mr. McGilda's true character. We know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that McGilda's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. And the defense's argument was flawed, based on false information.
Oh no!
It wasn't, though. We tried. The judge was the one who finally said, okay, evidence has been tampered with, everything's fucked, I'm just throwing out the case. We tried to call on how sus everything was, bruh. That would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury. Oh, that part, yeah. That part is a problem.
But Ginny...
Could it be the Von Zeeks knows? Of course he does. Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything?
But maybe... This could be a great opportunity for us.
I'm sorry? What do you mean, Iris?
Well, what is it you always say, Bruno? Sooner or later, the truth comes out, every time.
I don't remember ever saying that once in my entire life, but sure. Alright, exact significance of the things that Mr. McGilda deposited with Mr. Windibank is something only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here? I don't know. I mean, if she was being threatened, like it was very obvious that he actually killed the guy. Who's to say he wouldn't just kill her too? Like, he's a powerful ass man. It's very clear if she was being threatened, right? I think going to jail for perjury is a little bit preferable to going to jail for fucking murder. Oh my god. Okay. Gojo's abs compel me to let her do it. My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal.
what proposal, counselor?
While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGilda's small box, please never refer to it as Mr. McGilda's small box ever again. I would like the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to call her to the witness stand.
The defendant?
It was established in case that the murders get executed. Yeah, exactly. Like, murderers get fucking executed no matter what, right? She's an underage, she's a technically still underage girl. She was being threatened, and it was 2 months ago. I think taking 2 months in jail or whatever for perjury is preferable to getting executed.
To what end?
It's to do with the various articles deposited at Mr. Windibank's by McGilda, my lord. Miss Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it'd be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It'll prove the significance of the articles in question, once and for all.
Well, well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused standing, and indeed your own.
I have.
Lord Von Zeech, would you care to explain that last remark? The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself. Very well, if you have no objection. So the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. You witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice.
Then I shall bid you good day.
Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies.
As you wish.
Alright then, Gina, it's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me.
Good luck, Bruno.
You rewatched the ending for the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, it's still such a good fight. It really is. I love those movies so goddamn much.
The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal.
Oh! We're getting married? Why not? Sholmes is cheating on me. Articles that McGilden has deposited in Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago.
Yes, and I remember this young lady being brought before me to that trial as well.
Gay people, this is just like Persona 5. Oh my fucking god! That's right, my lord. Her testimony helps establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilden.
The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now here we are again, the same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fates, perhaps, my Nipponi's friend.
Are you saying it was destiny to meet me here again today, sir? Mwah. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. The old brickmaker was stabbed to death in the omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilden. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder had in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Then immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, Mr. McGilden died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances. Yeah, that's not the word I would use, but sure.
A mystery that remained unsolved even now, 2 months later. As indeed the omnibus murder itself. Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor the small box being mentioned in the case of those two proceedings.
Miss Lestrade. Would you tell the court now, please? What really happened on the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean?
I don't know what you mean. I already said all of what I know.
And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Please, Miss Lestrade. This is extremely important.
But...
Remember, little girl. If it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness.
It's been revealed that Zhongli is the most used in the Abyss 95% of the time, and Amber is dead last. Oh, oh, poor Amber. Oh my god. I promise I'll actually build her one of these days. It's just artifact farming is such bullshit. I've been grinding the new one non-stop for Yoimiya and Raiden, and I only just today finally got a usable artifact for Raiden. Kazuha in second place, my boy. Good for him.
Although, let's face facts, you have little credibility to lose.
Ginny, don't listen to him. Please, you have to trust Bruno now.
Iris?
We're on your side.
Alright then. I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about its ears, so be it. I must confess I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilden's pawned articles and that extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we've been hitherto unaware. So, Miss Lestrade, will you now give your testimony before the court about the evidence of 2 months ago? You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements.
This is it then. Everything's gonna come out. Like Von Zeke said. This could bring the whole courtroom down about by the ears. Down about my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. And that was then, this is now. We live with our sins. We need our pain. It makes us stronger. Truth is that Brickmaker Cove was in the capital omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden I heard a scream from over me head, and a pair on the roof deck went off to call the slugs. That's when McGill slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I seen or heard.
Good grief, this is outrageous! What you've just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago. As you say, my lord. Then there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in McGilden's trial. Sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes.
Your emotional save you pump, what's wrong? Did Baku Deku happen? Did more Baku Deku happen? Oh no, FF14 is a bitch, I'm so sorry, Pump. I can't help you with that one.
Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in that trial of this witness and my learned friend are entirely inexcusable.
I don't believe it!
McGilden was round to the court, just like a pickpocket.
Don't forget the lawyer from the East. They were all in on it together.
You're wrong, the lots of ya. Mr. Naruto, the lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it.
Yombog!
I don't think so. Are we really expected to believe that?
He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free.
Unforgivable. Stop. The lies have to stop. Stop.
What kangaroo court bullshit have you missed? Nothing too bad right now, help. Just the fact that we have to have Gina tell the truth about Case 3 to actually get the truth out for this one. Can't wait to talk more in depth about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in the group watch. Yeah, interested to hear, because I've not seen those films in so long. Defense made a terrible error in judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony. Because the true significance of McGilden's pawned articles must be brought to light.
Very well, my learned student friend.
What's with the student part now? Is that a promotion? Are you reminding yourself? Oh no, I'm a college student. No, there's no age difference. I'm legal. We can make this work. Right? Yeah. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this may be well worth hearing. Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord.
Blimey, Mr. Naruhodo. Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
He's establishing superiority. Oh my. Spread legs for dominance. No, I know he's a student. It's just weird that he suddenly inserted that part into his nickname for us. I know we are a college student. It's just weird that he brought that up suddenly. I'm confused about what to argue. Although, oh, we're gonna have to press to get some reactions from fucking Eggert, aren't we? He was probably somehow in on that bullshit. Well done, Gina. Can't be easy to tell the truth like that.
Ginny's really putting her faith in you, Bruno.
Yeah, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over. You just time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
Time to really go for it. Press on her every statement.
Yep, okay. Suppose I should.
Oh, and another thing.
What's that?
Take a look at those two. Isn't it strange they've been whispering to each other the entire time?
Not really. They're both incredibly suspicious. Yeah, they're having a secret discussion about something. Fucking weird. Almost like they're both assholes. Not sure I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if it's anything I can do about it. Oh, I can bait them.
I can't go to jail for perjury. I'll never be the next Persona 5 protagonist.
Wouldn't the next game be Persona 6?
No! They need to just make more Persona 5. All these other games are trash. They're not worth revisiting, not worth expanding on. Just give me more of the same thing. You don't fix fucking perfection.
Hold it!
Gina's the type of girl to give a drowning man water. You were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mrs. Strayed? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats.
Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all. Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain you claimed Mr. McGilden was the sole passenger, did you not?
False testimony, my lord.
That's what he told me I had to say.
But it's important you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilden and the victim acquaintances?
I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot.
What were they talking about?
Well, I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Can I check on them during the press? Only if they react to it. Like, I can look at them, I think, but I don't think I can, you know, inquire further into what they're doing unless they actually react to something she says.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind. Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe, and then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise like kneeling over on the floor. It was booming loud and all. And you believe you let out, and I believe you let an involuntary scream.
Yeah.
Can I? I can press them without it. Do I want to do that, though? Is there any point to that unless they react to something? Again, I hate pressing. I hate pressing. I hate doing extra shit I don't need to. Unless it's necessary, or unless it's really funny, I'm not interested.
That's what gave me away.
And if it is, and straight up, full disclosure, if it is some bullshit all of a sudden where I have to do that, where that's how I... Okay, that's what I want to know. What statement, then? Because I'm not playing this fucking game. The game wants to change rules all of a sudden, then I need to know exactly which one. I don't play that game. Every other time, it's only been when they reacted to something. It doesn't matter? Okay.
Hold it! Excuse me.
Is there something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector! Mr. Graydon!
Blimey, you're trying to give me a heart attack.
You've been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what's this discussion about?
Discussion? With this fellow? Pull the other one, sunshine. You think I'd give anything to talk about a shady check like this?
I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine.
Oh, they fucking. Sir, you are not getting into the Skulkins. I don't care if you're boinking their brother. You're not cool enough for them. I hate you. They've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. As if they've been negotiating.
You will kindly refrain from talking amongst yourself while the witness is giving testimony. Yes, I'm sorry, my lord.
What were you two talking about?
Miss Lestrade, let's continue with your testimony.
Had to do it to break them up. Will they actually react properly to stuff now?
Hold it! Hold it!
Was disc use called this disc? I have to press everything? No. I mean, possibly in this round, but typically speaking, no, I don't. I don't want to. I hate it. I actually hate it. Was this the disc you saw? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the cove line on the floor.
Could this disc belong to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know, but McGill did pick it up pretty smartish. Then he sat with his cove with a knife and a belly up on his seat. What did he say to you at that time? It told me not to say a word about what I'd seen or to no one. About the disc and all. I was dead scared the way he was looking at me. I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a load of questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and all that. Asked me about being a diver too.
After a while, what happened to the carriage was noticed.
Yeah, that's right. First there was some kind of rapping noise.
Hold it!
Rapping, you say? He was working on his mixtape. We're getting to the heart of it, boys. We're gonna hear that rap album by the time we're done. World's first leprechaun-themed rap artist. Let's fucking go. There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in his guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and McGill got out of me sight. Got me out of sight, even.
Out of sight? Where?
Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to an halt, the two coves from the roof ran off to fetch the slopes.
If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident.
Yeah, the one rolled up on this invisible horse and I didn't see him again. So that left McGill and the driver still at the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes, he also testified in the trial, I believe.
Beppo! Superman's gonna be so disappointed. Like I said, I can't believe Beppo was in on this. I trusted him.
Fellow went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves.
What did Mr. McGill and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened and stuff like that, mainly.
Hold it!
The pawn shop obviously being Winterbank's on Baker Street.
Just a moment, Counsel. You mean to tell me the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well? Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand. Indeed, Lord Von Jeet.
McGilda took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all careful-like before and handed it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat, what's in it's got to be worth a few bob. Yes, Mina was sure that this must be worth more than Mr. Winterbank was suggesting, wasn't he? Wasn't she? I remember quibbling with him over the price before that afternoon at the pawn brokery. The driver looked pretty happy when McGill did flash some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. Then the bog trotter called out to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin.
Hold it!
Threatened you how exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scarper if I did exactly what he said.
Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's it. There was one other thing he said.
Which was?
He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
Said if he didn't show up with the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug and stop it from being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
Not really. Why on earth would Mr. McGilda have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. His artist from Gina, Daft Punk. Oh god. What McGilda had in the driver deposit at Winterbanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that, he let me go, so I lagged it before the coppers showed up. Daft Punk's cover of Last Surprise. Please, no. They're not even a rap group.
Thank you, Mr. Strayed. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus. It would appear that on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc, however, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilda took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life.
Which proves my point, that this clearly is extremely valuable in some way. I don't understand why.
And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilda's coat and its contents would be due to be forfeited.
I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the cove died right after his trial, I knew that.
So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own?
Well, why not, eh? They were only going to be forfeited. Why should I have got them? People are attacking Genshin's voice actors, thinking they had control over the Oh my god. People! The Genshin Anniversary Awards are shit. We all know it. They are absolute shit unless there's more that they're not telling us. They will remain shit. But if you think the voice actors have any fucking control or say in that matter, holy shit. Fix your brain holes. Anyway, I can't blame her for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilda was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be?
I ain't got a clue. It'll help you with ball pulls, Ken. Oh yeah, 10 whole extra pulls. Instead of having only 30 chances to get Raiden unless I spend money, I'll have 40 chances to get Raiden unless I spend money. Wow. I ain't got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably going to sell it. And you can't blame her for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime. My lord! The same shit happened with the Voltron voice actors. The Voltron voice actors got harassed because of the queer baiting and bullshit that happened in the show.
Your evidence, the evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir.
The mysterious little box deposited by Mr. McGilda 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind it's a key piece of this far-reaching puzzle. My nipples are hard just thinking about it! Oh, man! That's a part? Oh, jeez, and this is 4 parts, right? How long is this last one? Holy shit. What do you think, chat? You think we can actually do it tonight? It's a C-Lab 2021 reference. It's not gross. Nipple jokes are okay if they're C-Lab 2021 references. It's fine. Like 2 to 3 hours? I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I am gonna run and get some more water real quick. I am already out of sip. Maybe 4 if it's me, maybe 4 if it's me. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. 2 a.m., boys. 2 a.m. Especially because I definitely need... yeah, I need some sip. I'm out of water, I'm out of coffee, I'm out of everything. You haven't seen C-Lab in forever? You need to fix that. C-Lab is valid. Rewatch C-Lab, everyone. Each and every one of you. That's your homework. And there go my nipples again.